everyone, Amber and Chelsea here with Spark Mamas and our Ask Us Anything questions. Today we have a question from some of our followers regarding holiday stress. The question is, I'm 30 weeks pregnant and am overwhelmed by my in-laws' desire to spend Christmas with us. It's my last Christmas, and my husband and I really want to be just the two of us. Any thoughts on how to talk to him and them about what I really want?
Ooh, this is a good question and one that I know I'm talking to my clients about all the time right now. How about you?
Yes, I feel like this is a common question we get during the holidays about how to make space for mom and what she really wants, and how to sort of make space for those around them without hurting people's feelings. I guess my first thought about this, Chelsea, is I guess to think about maybe just talking to your partner first about what you're really feeling, and that it's not a personal thing. You just want that space, and to talk to them about what you're really needing and see how that conversation goes.
hmm I know I'm always amazed at how many of my clients will recognize that they've had these thoughts or they have these expectations, but they haven't actually articulated to them to their partner. And
Mm-hmm.
also ask their partner for the kind of support that they need around it. Right. And so in that conversation, I always kind of identify, well, who's the better person at communicating with the in-laws, right? And oftentimes it's going to be, if it's his family, it might be him.
Mm-hmm.
So I have them together kind of come up with a script that could be helpful for him going to his in-laws and saying, hey, this is what I'd like for us, right? And in that, often I'll have them identify ways to really validate the family's desire to spend time together, because again, it's all positive, right? So coming up with something that feels like a supportive statement, an empathic statement, but also a truthful statement. So
Mm-hmm.
that might sound something like, we really appreciate that you want to spend time with us. You know how much we love you. And I know the holidays about family togetherness. However, since this is our last, holiday as a family of two, we were wondering if we could just spend it alone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. How does something like that sound?
No, I think it's really helpful because I think a lot of times people get nervous about
hmm
what to actually say without worrying that they're hurting their feelings. And so it can feel a little strange to think about a script ahead of time, but it also can
hmm
sort of make you feel a little bit more prepared for that conversation. So I think it's a really good idea to sort of come up with that. The other thing I think that is probably important is in that communication with the in laws is to let them know what they can do versus what they
Right.
maybe can't do. So maybe they can come after the holidays, or they can come for a visit for the weekend, but just not for the entire holiday Christmas season. And so I think maybe letting them know what they can do is really important versus like, you just can't come.
Absolutely. As we're talking, I'm thinking of this book that I just
Mm,
happen to have handy of
so good.
setting boundaries and finding peace. She has some great scripts in here. She also has a wonderful blog full of free resources about boundary setting. My hunch is that for this 30-week pregnant mom, that this is not the first time that her and her
Mhm.
husband are going to have to do some boundary setting. So
Yeah.
this is also a really good opportunity to practice,
Yeah.
because my gut isn't, and I'm sure you see this too, is that it only gets harder once the baby's going to be earthside. So the better that they can have at the two of them having these conversations and then practicing these conversations with the family, the more confident they'll feel in identifying what they want and what they need for their family.
Yeah. And I think it's okay to maybe just have an expectation that they might be feeling a little upset, but that's okay that they're a little uncomfortable, and that the other
Mm-hmm.
person's going to feel uncomfortable when you're setting that boundary, and that they'll eventually sort of move through some of those emotions.
Yeah. And you know what else I find? And I don't know if you see this as well, but most of the time, people don't actually mind if you say no. That while there might be some feelings of pushback or there might be some disappointment, as they can identify, okay, this is not a reasonable expectation right now. And here's, I can look forward to seeing them maybe at a different time between now and when the baby's here, that they actually are okay with that.
Yeah, I agree. I think I think part of the fear around that though with is hurting someone's feelings, or the individuals who do have maybe a bit of an adult temper tantrum about that. And I think that could be one of the reasons why people have a hard time expressing what they really need. And so I think that leaning into that, it's okay that they get a little upset, or if maybe they won't, and not to sort of predict that story.
Right.
And that they will eventually work through it because they do care and their intentions are good and they want to be around you and they want to meet your baby.
Absolutely. Well, we hope this was helpful, and we look forward to seeing you all next week on our Ask Us Anything.
Thanks. Bye.